Welcome to this week's installment of the 2-Minute Drill. With us, as always, is Nichols head coach Dale Olmsted. Dale, let's talk about Saturday's game. Looking at the score side, which was 52-14, the numbers were pretty even as far as total yards and first downs and things like that. So, box score or the final score could be a little deceiving.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we just finished up playing three of the top teams in New England, in my opinion. With Western, Endicott, and then Salve. And they each are very strong and in a lot of different fields. But again, facing I think the number one defense in our area was Salve. Yeah, we were able to move the ball. I mean, our first drive, we drove the field, we missed a field goal. They got the ball. I think their first play was a touchdown. We get the ball right back, go right down the field. This time we do score, so we tie it up then. And for them offensively, they were getting big plays for us early. We had to work it. We had to drive the field. And I think that reflects some of the box scores there. And then the second half, I'm not sure what Coach Gilmar wanted to do, but I think he kind of slowed it down a little bit because we were going toe-to-toe with them early on. They were able to kind of, I think we only had maybe 2 possessions in the third quarter. They were able to kind of drive the field and kind of, get us out of our rhythm that we worked so hard for in the first half. I believe Mullins threw for 260 in the first half. So, those stats are real. I mean, it's not like we picked up some stats in the second half to kind of pad it. No, I mean, we went after them, played toe-to-toe early on, and, it's just our job as coaches to keep these kids up and the captains. They're not... they know what was ahead of them the last 3 games, and not to say that the next 4 are going to be, easy by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, we're still looking for our first conference win, in both, Coast Guard coming up this week, having played Curry to a 56-54 game, we know, we're going to be tested.
Coach, we spoke off camera about, despite the final score, the offense was able to do a couple of things. So what's the confidence level like for the team now that you've kind of dealt with Murderers Row heading into the latter part of the schedule? Talk about the confidence of the team, both on offense and defense, coming into these last few games.
Yeah, as I said, it was a great gut check for us. I mean, rebuilding and playing those good teams, we're going to find out what we did well, and then work off that and find out also what we did poorly and fix that. I mean, it's like you did well. Then if these things are working, maybe we spend less time on that this week and focus a little bit more on the things that we struggled with, both offensively and defensively. So, again. I think we can take a lot of positives through those first 3 games. We need to in order to be successful throughout the rest of the season. And by the way practice went, yesterday, I see no reason why I wouldn't.
You guys closed the season with 3 of the last 4 games at home. The first one coming this week against Coast Guard. You mentioned it before. They put up 56 against Curry in a shootout. Talk about their offense a little bit, what you guys expect from them. We know they're going to throw the ball, but how do you counter that?
Yeah, no, Coast Guard certainly is going to throw the ball. I think they have the leading quarterback in not only the league, but maybe, in the top 10 in the nation. I mean, he's thrown for a ton of yards, 7 touchdown passes last week. They're not going to be the biggest teams that we face the first 3 games, but we know we're going to get with them. We know we're going to get a physical team. We know we're going to get a team that's very disciplined. They're very opportunistic, usually great special teams. So, we're gonna have to try to do things differently because we have to face an offense that not only throws the ball well, but they move around. They have a lot of different formations they're going to throw at you. They could go double tight, full house. The next set they might come out and no back. So they do a great job offensively of moving their key personnel around, and defensively, they did give up a lot of points, but again they'll go from a 4 front to an odd front. Send guys off the corners. So again, we'll have to be ready. We'll have to play our best game for sure in order to be competitive in this one.
Not trying to give any secrets away here by any means, but because they're such a team that relies on the passing, will this be a game where you may have more defensive backs and more secondary players that maybe haven't seen so much action the first few games that are pressed in now, or we keep the defense basically the same?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that, we're going to have to try to put our best 11 out there to match their 11. I mean, when you play teams like Coast Guard, that's going to air it out all the time. You have to do things differently than when you play a Maine Maritime where they go double tight, full house. So, certainly we're going to try to match up our personnel against their personnel and, see what happens.
Game begins at noon at Vendetti Field. Fans, as always, if you can't make it out, NicholsAthletics.com has live stats and video. Coach Homestead, good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Pete.